All right. Thank you for your time and joining us in this interview. My name is Macy Webster. I am a junior at Peoria High School. And would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Alexander Barton. I am an artist and activist and advocate in Peoria, Illinois.
Thank you. I have a question for you. Can you tell me a little bit about giving voice?
Yes. Giving what that means to me, or
Yes, what it means to you, yes.
giving voice. I think for me, giving voice would be giving platforms to folks who don't have that platform for themselves. So giving space, making space for people to make their voices heard, making space for people to be able to advocate for something, to be able to talk about something, um, and assisting folks in making space for themselves in a space where they may not have always had that access. So um, making room to hear other people's perspectives.
How can one contribute to giving voice?
Um, First, I think listen and listening. I think it is super important for folks to learn how to actually actively listen and meet people where they're at. Understand that folks aren't going to have the same background as you. Folks aren't going to have the same access to things as you. Um, and so learning to listen, learning to understand where different people are coming from, um, and then learning how to uplift those voices.
How young were you when you started doing things for the community?
I would say when I started in college, so like 19 to 21. In high school, I was involved in like groups and organizations and stuff, but it wasn't really until college that I started thinking more about working within the community or figuring out my community. And then when I moved to Peoria in 2014, that's when I really started to get involved in the community and started taking pride in living somewhere and feeling connected to the people I live near and around.
Was there anybody who inspired you?
Um, I would say just a lot of the members of the Peoria community, seeing people like similar age as me, similar upbringing as me, doing work and advocating and doing things like seeing other people making a difference just by listening and understanding what other people are coming from inspired me to try to do the same. A lot of people in the pure around the world, around a lot of people I know from different places, but then especially a lot of people in Peoria, I just see doing so much and sort of gives me the inspiration to continue doing that.
How would you encourage students like myself to get involved with their community?
I would say first find or make community. Find things you like doing, find stuff that you're passionate about, or figure out what it is you could be passionate about, and then see what's happening locally. Find out, like, get involved at your high school, but then also find out, like, oh, what neighborhood do you live in? Are there events happening in your neighborhood? Are there events happening in your city that are of interest to you? And then getting involved, seeing how they're handled, and then finding other people with common interests. And then if there's something that you like to do or something you want to do or something you want to see in your community that isn't there, make it. Find other like-minded people and then find support and make it happen.
How do you know that the work you're doing is helping the community and making a difference?
I feel like the work I'm doing is helping me. Um, like I'm learning things from other people and I I can't, no one can read anybody else's mind. I don't know exactly what other people want or need, but I know that like by making the immediate environment around me better, if I can make people feel more comfortable around me, I can translate that to a larger scale. So I guess it would be from listening, seeing, and then also advocating for changes that like I advocate for something that benefits my community. Well, I'm a part of that community, so if I see those effects, then they're there for other people. But I also think it goes back to listening. Like I hear what people say, and I listen to what they say, and then I try to make things a little bit better. I think another part of it is just I keep having conversations with people. So even if you do something and you think you solved solved a problem in the community, um, you won't know that unless you keep talking to people. Just because I'm doing this fundraising, problem solved. It doesn't work that way. You have to keep having conversations and invest with the folks you're working with.
Well, I have a follow-up question to that. So have you seen any change in the Peoria region since you came, as far as tolerance, as far as listening, as far as policies go?
I've seen a few things. I've seen an uptick. Like I work in public health,
Okay.
and some of the education outreach we do, I've literally, like, logistically, have seen numbers go down in positive cases and things that which we educate about. I have seen numbers go down,
Right.
and awareness and education go up. Like I have to, I find myself explaining to less folks, like the difference between like gender and sexuality, or finding more respect in spaces where people are listening. And so I've seen that change. Actually, a more immediate change a few years back, I had an experience where I was doing outreach at a middle school in Peoria. And for some reason, I was asked to leave. I have no idea why. And it was because of my gender identity, because of my expression. The principal of that location did not want me there. So I was asked to leave the building.
Okay.
That never happened to me before here. But my organization worked with the superintendent. We had a meeting. We met every single principal for the program that we're educating. We met every single principal, talked to them, introduced ourselves, and they were all really excited about the project. And so it was an opportunity to take something that was negative and like actually see physical change. Like people were listening and making room for new things and educational moments.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's like the Peoria. One of the things I really like about living here is that it's a bigger city. Like I'm from small town West Virginia, so it's a bigger city.
Okay.
But it's small enough that you can see change happening, or if you see things happening badly, you can make your voice heard and find other people who will listen.
That's funny that you say that Peoria is a big town compared to where you came from. I know we are a city, but in my mind, it's not a big city, but that makes sense. So. I do. Macy, do you mind if I ask another question?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I did go on your website and I saw the shirts and the dresses that had the names of people on them. And they were placed outside of, I believe it's Sous Chef, the grocery store. Can you explain that art project and what you were trying to convey?
Yes. So Remember Her Peoria was a project to sort of honor and advocate for the women that we have lost, or the people who identify as women that we have lost to domestic violence. Whether it was we suffered domestic violence, like the way we organized it was folks we have lost to domestic violence, folks who have gone missing, and then folks who were suffered like violent crime by a loved one or partner. And so we did that just to sort of highlight, like, it's really easy to see these statistics and other it. Be like, oh yeah, violence against women happens, but like, I live in a good neighborhood. It doesn't happen here. I don't see that in my city, but it does happen here. It happens everywhere. And so we wanted to use that as a chance to like honor these folks that we have lost, but then also educate and advocate so people know that this happens. Like, be there for your community. Listen to women. Listen to their stories. I grew up in a household where my mother was a victim of domestic violence.
Okay.
I felt so personal connected to this project because, like, she could have easily, if she didn't have the support system she did, she could have easily been one of those dresses.
Right.
And so we just really wanted to use the way to educate and honor.
Okay. Nice. Back to you, Mace.
Thank you. What advice would you give someone to help find their cause?
I would say do everything you're interested in. If you have an inkling that you want to try something, try it. Explore it. Don't let fear of failure keep you from doing something. And do it for you. If you have an do it. And I think you'll start to find that the more you do things you enjoy, the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about everything, and it starts to help you find a voice, find a space to get involved in. So I would say explore everything that you're interested in, do stuff for yourself. Don't be afraid of like, well, I don't know if this will be successful, or I don't know if people will like this. If you see a need for it, or if you want to try it out, do it. See how it goes, and like you'll find your voice in doing that.
Thank you. That's all I have for you today. Ms. Webster, do you have any questions?
I do. I have one more because I do know that you're involved in the Black Artists Guild.
Yes.
Are there any different art exhibits that their students could be involved in or that they can go look at?
So actually right now, up until the end of October, October 30th, we have an exhibition. It's our first exhibition as a group at the Art Guild of Peoria.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 2 is their normal time frame. But like if you have conflicts because of school and stuff, you can call to try to set up an appointment to get in. But you can see the collective work of all the artists there. You can also go to our website, which is peoriagoba.com. And it's a Peoria GOBA. It has some of our members' contact information on their websites and portfolios. You can see the work that they're making. You can also, if you go to the website, we have a contact information. So if anybody's interested in what's happening in the art community in Peoria, what's happening, what a lot of the Black artists are up to, they can contact us there through our website with any questions.
Okay. I just thought about another question, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
How has COVID really impacted the Peoria Guild of Black Artists?
It has sort of been, I hate to say because it's a horrible thing that's happening, but in some ways it has been a little bit of a blessing.
Okay.
Where we've taken space we've been given space because of the state of everything to work and to think about what we want to do. And also we were founded this year amidst the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
So we're like a brand new organization, but we were founded because we were given the time to finally connect. And then also after the events this year with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Black Lives Matter gaining a lot of traction, everyone is at home, so everyone sees this. Stuff like this has been happening for years. It's been happening to our community for years, but everyone's at home, so everyone sees it now.
Right.
Everyone is listening more. I mean, there's still more that can be done, but people are listening more. And so we thought, now's the time. It's like we're connected. People are listening. People are looking. People are trying to highlight Black voices. People, this is an opportunity for education amongst folks. And so we decided COVID, I think, helped let us form.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Nice. All right. That's all I have for you.
Do you have any questions for us?
I guess, what does it feel like working on this project? Like my high school never did anything like this. So what does it feel like being a part of this and getting to like talk to people in the community?
It's quite fun actually. Yes, it's fun. It's some interviewers that do it with me sometimes, and sometimes it's just me. We go around and we interview a lot of people, and we like get to know them a little bit, and then they ask us questions, and I just like how they like interact with us and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Have you been inspired or gotten any new ideas about things you want to do in the future from doing this?
I probably would go with acting because we interviewed an actor and she was very inspiring, and
Mm.
that got me thinking, turning wheels.
And actors are always fun to talk to. They're very animated.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really happy you get to do this and get to talk to people and meet folks. It's a really cool opportunity, especially during an international crisis. You still get to tune in and find out what folks are up to.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's short, but we just wanted to make sure we get some of the points out about the community piece because I know you're a big community activist, and I know you and Peter Kobach are friends. So I I see your picture with him sometimes on his Facebook feed. So thank you for all of the work that you're doing in the community.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for it's. I really care about the area, and so I just want to stay involved and be a part of what's happening here because it's a cool place.
Good. Okay, I will go ahead and we're going to stop the recording.